Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Landon. Today we're going to talk about three chord progressions that I recommend every piano player knowing. We'll start a little simple and then we'll get a little more complicated, but basically these three chord progressions will help you kind of understand a lot of the songs that you're going to play and kind of give you some places to go if you want to have some passing chords or chord substitutions and stuff like that. So the first one is the 6-4-1-5 chord progression. The second one is going to be the 5-1-4 chord progression, and the third one is the 7-3-6-4-2-5-1 chord progression, and we're going to explain all that, break it down for you, and show you how to use it. All right, so let's start with 6-4-1-5. So first off, if those numbers don't make sense to you, I have another video about number theory, and I recommend you go watch that. But basic number theory is, if we're in the key of C, in the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C, right? We're just assigning a number to that position. So C would be 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, B is 7. And we're going to play a chord representation of that number. So 6 would be A in the key of C, right? So we're going to play an A minor, in this case, a more complex chord, A minor 9. Okay? A minor 9. I'm playing A, E in the bass, and then G, B, C, in the right hand. And you can see that in that virtual piano. Alright, that's the 6. Then we're going to play the 4. And we're going to play a major 7 chord. The 4 is F. So we're going to play F major 7. Alright, F, C in the bass, F, A, C, and then add the E for that 7. Alright, then we're going to go to the 1. I'm playing a 2 or add 9. That's C in the bass, G, C, D, E. Alright, and then we're going to do a G suspended to a regular G. Okay, so. Alright, that G, D in the bass, and then G, C, D for the suspended. Then we're going to move that C to a B for the regular. And that's the 5. 6, 4, 1, 5. Alright. So that chord progression is used in a lot of songs. Maybe the order's changed up. Like it starts on a different note. So maybe it goes 1, 5, 6, 4 or 6, 4, 1, 5. You know, maybe it starts on the 4, goes to 1, 5, 6. And let me give you some examples of that. So like See a Victory by Elevation Worship. It starts on the 6. I'm going to see a victory, right? I'm going to see a victory for the battle, C. And then G. Alright, that's I'm going to see a victory. Waymaker, it starts on the 4, but goes to the same chord progression as the 1. Darkness 5, that is who you 6. Alright, so that chord progression you're going to see in a lot of songs. It just starts in different places. So that's the first chord progression. 6, 4, 1, 5. Now, why do you even need to know these? What's the importance? Well, the importance is that if you're playing along with music, you can start with those 4 chords if you know the key and try to follow along. And usually, you can pick one of those chords and try to go to that next one in that order and see if it works. Also, if you're looking for chords to go to, when you're adding substitution chords or something like that, you can kind of use these chord progressions that I'm talking about today to kind of help you as a guide. So the second one is 5-1-4. And so we're going to stay in the same key, same chords, except we're going to complicate them. So we'll start with the G, all right? And at first we'll just do it simple. We'll make it a G minor. Okay? Then we're going to go to C, and we'll make it a 7. We'll just do a regular C for now. Okay? Then the F. All right, so let's say we're, on C. Okay, and we're going to the 4, which is F. So in between that, for instance, we could play this G, C, back to the F. All right, so let's try that. So we're on C, and we want to go to the 4, so we're going to go. All right, so now let's make that a G minor 9. Okay, so that's G, D, F, in the right hand, F, A, B flat, C, D, minor 11 actually. Okay, then we're gonna do a C7 flat 9, C in the bass, in the right hand, G, B flat, D flat, E, to the F major 7. Alright, so it sounds like for coming from C, then you got a little passing chord to the F, right? So maybe you're doing something like Z. See how that made to the F sound? So you can kind of add that in there. And plus, maybe you're going to the 4 even from like A minor, because 6-4-1-5, that's a chord progression, but you want to add something in there between. You could just do that G minor, right? It works. You could also do the whole thing from that 6 minor. Another place to use this for is at the end of a chorus. So let's say you're ending a chorus, right? And we're doing like the chord progression starting on, let's see, we want it to end on the 1. So we're going to start it with a 5. Okay. Then 6. 4. And maybe we want to do a 4 at the end to kind of linger it. Yeah. Or we just go straight to that 4 to end the song, so that we kind of end differently than just on the 1. We do that sometimes. So like you're a 5, so 5, 6, 4, end on 1 to the 4, right? Like you could do that. How great is our God? How great is our God? 1, 6, 4, great. 5 is our God. And on that 4, or you can do that to end it. So that's the 5-1-4 chord progression. The last one, which is a little bit more complex, is the 7-3-6-4, 5 or 2 5 1. So that's 7 3 6 4 2 5 1. Now this is a big help to give you kind of an order for every note in the scale, a chord representation for it. For passing chords, or if you want to know somewhere you can go, it'll work, okay? And I'll give you some example songs or places in songs where it's used. So 7. So let's start in C. A common, simple way would be like 5 over 7. So G over B. So B in the bass, G, B, D, okay? Now, if you were to get more, you could do a diminished chord. Alright, diminished 7. So B in the bass, F, A flat, B, D. Okay? And the basic diminished chord is you're going to flat the 3 and the 5 of that key scale. Okay? So you can start there, 7, 3. So the 3 in C, 1, 2, 3 is E. So we're going to do an E chord. So 7, all right. You can do an E minor. Alright, so I'm going to do the simple chords first, then I'll do the complex chords later. So G over B, E minor, 6 is A, okay, then we're going to do the 4, F, okay, and then D minor. So I'm just playing D and then like a F in the right hand, F, A, C. Alright, 5 is D, and then the 1, C. So it's like, so it gives me a chord representation for every note in the scale, and it kind of flows, okay? So let's do that B diminished chord. We're gonna do a E7 flat 9, which is that same diminished chord in the right hand, but just over E. So to the A minor 9, okay? So, perfect. Okay, then we're gonna go to the 4. All right, D minor, C. And maybe some cases you'll make that a D7 to the G. But I'm gonna do minor for now. So let me show you some places where this is used. So the very common one is coming from the 1 to going to the 6, the A minor. They'll add that 5 over 7, 3, or that B minor to the A, the 6, in between the 1 and the 6. So like, I give myself away 1. 6. Right? So it uses that little chord progression. Another thing is when I think about the Lord. Right there we use that 7 3 to get to the 6. So when I think about the Lord, how He saved me, right? And then we're going to the 4, and they'll do that 5 minor. And what they actually do, or you can do, is walk it to that G flat diminish to that 5. Or you can do 7 flat 9. You can do diminish. You can do 7 flat 9 over the G flat to F. Either way, so when I think about the Lord, how He raised me, how He filled me. So, fill me, alright. Oh, so fill me. Alright, so that's an example of when it's used. The 2-5-1 is often used to end, especially a lot of traditional courses. They'll end Amazing Grace, a lot of that 2-5-1 instead of just 1-5-1 or 5-1. Let me think. We exalt thee, one, we exalt thee, we exalt thee, 5. That last line, we'll go to the 2, we exalt thee, oh Lord. Okay, they ended that with that 2, 5, 1. It ends songs a whole lot. The 2-5-1, but when you're ending on the 1, you can do that 2-5-1. And sometimes, depending on the song, you just do it fast, right, to end it. Especially in faster songs, you may want to do that, like Can't Nobody do like Jesus, for can't nobody do me like that. And then you'll kind of Can't nobody do me 2-5-1. And then you can do that old school 3-4 sharp 5 chord to get it back going, right? So, or you can do chords for that. So it's used a lot. And then, like we said, going to the 4, you can use that 5-1 to get to the 4. But this gives you an option to be able to chord substitute, use passing chords when you're trying to get some things. So let's for instance, let's talk about Amazing Grace, okay? So we're going to be in C again. So typically, the very traditional Amazing Grace, just at the very core, is just 1, Amazing Grace, how sweet, 4, back to 1, wretch, like 5, back to 1. Okay, so it's just 1, 4, 1, 5. So what I do a lot is do 1, 1, then I'll do the back to the 1. So that was the 2 or the 5-1 to the 4. So then I'm gonna go. See, I'm at the 1, right? I'm gonna substitute this 1 for an A minor, because A minor 7 is pretty much the same note as the same notes as C, G, C, and E, right? So I'm gonna do, to get from 1 to the 6, right? The 7, 3 to the 6. So so slow, and then but now you'd see a wretch like me. 7. That's the 5, right? 2, 5, back to the 1. Okay? And so you can make songs more complex and interesting by adding that in when you know what you're going to. passing chords in between to get to that 4, to get to that 5. I'm replacing the 1 with a 6. So that's a chord substitution. And you can do that because the right hand notes are the same. So C, if I just take the bass of C and move it to A, it becomes an A minor 7. Just to let you know, C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Well, the A minor scale, the 6 minor, same notes, just starts on A. That's the A minor. So you can use that as a substitution. Alright, so I hope this helps you, but these 3 chord progressions completely recommend you learning to play in every key using different chord positions and voicings, inversions, so that you can play these, because this will help you not only to play every song in every key, but it will help you add passing chords, add more flavor when you play. And let me just drop this in real quick. You don't always have to play the chord. You can just play the notes of the chord. So like an example. So I'm playing C and I want to get to that A minor. I can play the G over B and just the notes of that E. Of that E7 flat 9 chord, like that. So, and that gives me, and all I'm doing is that E7 flat 9 is F, A flat, B, D, right? And I'm just arpeggioing, and you can slide from that B flat to that B, like that, and then hit that A minor. So, and I'm rolling into that A minor. Start C, B, and then hit the chord. So, C. And so I didn't actually hit the chord, but I hit the notes of the chord. That gives you something to add, some flavor, some notes to fill that void. So I hope this helps. Those are 3 chord progressions I recommend every piano player using.